how would you describe the mission and the purpose of Junior League of Fort Smith?
It's an organization of women that's dedicated to empowering women and leadership, community volunteerism, and things like that. That's basically just our mission. You're there to learn and lead and grow. So one of our projects is Dignity for All, and it's period poverty. The fact that some of our funds that we raise, we go to buy period products and we pack them up so people know that we're there, we're out there. Yeah, you can definitely think about how many people need food, how many people are skipping right over the tampons and pads just to go to food because they need food. I think it is just unique that we can come from different walks of life, different, cultures, different backgrounds and ages. If you want to learn more, or maybe if you have something, maybe you have a talent or something that you want to share, you have a story, someone else has that story maybe as well and can relate. And, the more you know, the more you grow, I guess.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Today, I'm joined by Stephanie Maxey, the Communications Vice President for the Junior League of Fort Smith. The League has been empowering women and creating meaningful community impact since 1960. And I'm excited to talk with Stephanie about how that legacy continues today. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming. So what is the difference between Junior League and Junior, Auxiliary? I think that's what it's called in several different places in Arkansas as well.
I think it just comes back to the way it started. I know Junior League started in 1901 in New York. There was like a debutante that wanted to get out and roll up her sleeves, and it was just radical that these women, especially those types of women, wanted to get out in the community and do that. So that's kind of where the organization itself, the name, comes from, that league that started in 1901. And since then has gone global, worldwide, all over England and things like that, to just bring that community service and leadership and try to do something, make a difference.
Gotcha. They wanted to get out there and do something on their own.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame them.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what led you to get involved with Junior League and eventually take on this leadership role.
Yeah. I joined just kind of in conversation at work. I'm not from the area, Fort Smith, and just wanted to get out there and do something. I want to make a difference, make an example of, what a good person is for my family, and kind of take those, different skills that I've learned throughout my life and kind of learn from others. And it is just a different environment where there's lots of diversity and backgrounds and age groups and things like that. So it's definitely a place where you can learn in every little corner of where you can meet people.
So you join and then you serve a certain time period, right?
Right.
How many years is that? Is it 5 or is it 7?
7 active years. And then you go through a provisional year where you're kind of like a new member and you go through training. You kind of get to see the different areas and committees and things that we have. And so it's 8 years in total. And then you're considered a sustainer. You don't have requirements or things like that, but you're still able to take the things that you've learned and bring them back to the new members and the active members and things like that, and keep the legacy going, since it has been in Fort Smith since 1960. So it's been a big turn of some people have been in it sustaining and things for a long time. So it's definitely, you get to learn
like a sorority or something.
Yeah.
Like that. So how many years have you been in?
5.
Okay, so you were able to take a leadership role prior to doing the full 8 years.
Yeah,
well, that's amazing.
Yep. It is definitely, you get to learn pretty quickly different things. You kind of get to decide if you want to get out of your comfort zone or stay in your comfort zone, which, definitely we try to, you're there to learn and lead and grow. So get out of your comfort zone, get on a podcast, do different things.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something, I wouldn't be doing without Junior League. Getting on a microphone, getting up on a stage, talking to people, it's definitely something I would have never done without Junior League. I mean, I've, been involved in other organizations or different churches or things like that, but it's pretty easy to stay in your comfort zone there, I feel like. So Junior League definitely brings it out of you.
Well, when you're passionate about something too, it's easy to want to talk about it. It's easy to have those conversations. And being able to come on here and do that, I'm very excited that you're here.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry if this is taking you too outside of your comfort zone, but
No, that's good.
you're amazing.
Generally develops you and puts you in places that, you just got to say yes, because it gives you that momentum to keep going.
Yes.
No telling where you'll be next.
Right. And you're getting to do so much in the community as well. So
Yeah.
like how many committees do y'all have?
Probably about 5 or 6.
Okay.
And each one has about, 5 to 10 members. And the prior year before, we go through and decide, what are the exact needs that the community needs now, what maybe isn't working, what is working, how can we tailor this or that, whether it is fundraising or getting out there with volunteering or, just what we can provide, what we can use that money for, how we can raise money, raise awareness or advocacy or things like that for the needs in the area.
Okay. Do y'all do a survey to determine what that is, or do you just kind of evaluate it by talking to other community members so you know what's needed in the community?
Yeah, we do offer a lot of internal surveys. That way, if someone has a good idea or maybe a partnership or, things like that, we can really kind of take that into consideration of what exactly they can see that the need is and what we can do with that and really make a difference. Because if someone comes with a need, with an idea or a need or something like that, we can really use that passion to just, it just grows and people just feed off that and we want to help and we want to do good. And, even if it is something kind of radical or, like just off the wall, it can be really fun to just get in there and do something different where other organizations, they've got, maybe employees and, tons of volunteers that come and go and things like that. But we have one employee that runs the headquarters.
Okay.
And she works pretty much part-time, and so it's all us. It's us getting in there and doing, what we want, what we need, what we see that as a need. So it's kind of fun. We get to kind of tailor everything that we do.
That's huge, especially for the community to have that, for people that are that motivated and moved and called to do that as well. So for listeners who might not be familiar, how would you describe the mission and the purpose of Junior League at Fort Smith?
It's an organization of women that's dedicated to empowering women and leadership and community volunteerism and things like that. That's basically just our mission. So we get to each charter, each town gets to tailor their own vision per se. So ours right now is childhood poverty. We had stemmed off of, for I think almost 10, 15 years, it was foster care. And we did so much in the community, like Get Real, things like that. We're kind of facilitated from Junior League. Our different classes and things that we've held, that really worked really, really well. And we see that there's different organizations that have kind of started and poured into that. So it's like we kind of took a step back and said, let's do something a little bit different. And so now looking at childhood poverty, we're getting to kind of pivot a little bit because, we do know the need in the area is for things like, food and everyday essentials. So when we got into one of our projects is Dignity for All, and it's period poverty. So just the fact that some of our funds that we raise, we go to buy period products and we pack them up, put them in little, a pack might last 2 or 3 days. It's not a whole lot, but just with a card in there and some stuff, just so people know that we're there, we're out there.
Yeah.
Go out to different maybe health fairs and things and just, there might be a little boy that comes up and is like, what is that? And kind of grossed out. But then he learns it's like, this is a problem. Like I have a little sister, like, and things like that, and it's definitely, it's educating the community.
And get rid of that stigmatism, especially for younger boys to understand and to help advocate as well for their siblings or, mother or whoever.
Because you can definitely think about how many people need food, how many people are skipping right over the tampons and pads just to go to food because they need food. But, it's about cleanliness and hygiene and health and, mental health. Girls are missing school because they don't have anything. Maybe they're too embarrassed. The nurse at school can only provide so much. And, the teachers, we hear from teachers that spend so much money on this stuff. So just definitely getting the word out there to different people that's one little thing that can help, the health of our community.
So can people donate towards the Junior League if, they're able to, some of these feminine products? And do y'all have a food pantry?
No, we have our headquarters downtown. It's 311 Garrison, and we're open Tuesday through Friday just for a few hours. So if someone needs something, there's usually a good amount of some things there. A lot of times some people say they just can't drive or something. So maybe, we could coordinate someone to come out there and help them. But we do stock blessing boxes all over the River Valley. We'll do Greenwood and Van Buren, Alma. We'll go all over just to kind of get the word out there and kind of see where the need is. Because, every once in a while someone will reach out and say, hey, I have, a class full of girls that need stuff. That's happened, and it's just it's so nice to be able to put that out there and say, hey, we can talk about this. It's a common problem.
Right.
So
I would love to be on that list of people to call if you need me to drop anything off at any of the high schools and stuff too. So please let me know if that's ever a need. So one of your major focuses right now is childhood poverty, as you mentioned. Can you kind of share what that looks like and how it works and how volunteers are making an impact?
Yes, with childhood poverty, we have a couple of different committees that are kind of hitting on that. One of them right now is our advocacy committee, and they're really kind of getting into like the stats and kind of the different things as far as what our resources could be, how can, just to pull in some data and some facts and get into what our possibilities are. Our other probably committee that gets down into more of the childhood poverty is the Impact in a Day. They do more of like maybe little fundraising where they can go out Uncorked. Sometimes we'll have like a fundraiser night at Uncorked. That's always a good time to get out there and, maybe put a little sign up about what we do and things like that to kind of raise a little bit of money. We did like the health fair not too long ago, had, the period poverty products and, the period products. We got there to the health fair and, we're able to distribute things there, different, just talk to people. It was at Darby Middle School. We've done that, I think 2 or 3 years in a row now. And it's definitely places like that. There was a mental health fair, in Chaffee not too long ago. We set up at that, and it's definitely nice to just kind of talk to people and hear their stories. And
definitely. Do y'all send flyers home like at the beginning of school years with all the different schools in the area so they're aware of your programs?
No, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah. Because at the first of the year, or maybe not like the first day, because everybody has all the packets to do of like, do you still live here? And sign all this document. So maybe like within the first month, first week, 2 weeks, or something like that, just to get awareness out there. So if people are needing your services and those programs, they're more aware of what's available here in Fort Smith.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be a good one.
Just an idea. A small idea. So the League has such a strong focus on developing women as leaders. What kind of training or experiences help members grow personally and professionally?
Yeah, we do have several trainings throughout the year. Someone may come in and talk about just like I think we have one coming up about AI, things like that, just different like kind of little small, maybe like a little small conference seminar type thing in our meeting. That we can kind of grow and learn, and maybe like a little activity, because we do meet monthly, and then we try to add something like that as well. There's different conferences that are available throughout the world. I went to a conference last year in Florida about small leagues, because we're maybe a smaller one than obviously Dallas, but we have definitely the backbone as a small league across the country. So it's definitely nice to kind of see what kind of things we can offer each other, because we are here to offer things to our members. And so what can we do so that we leave the meeting ready to work and volunteer and come up with more ideas of what we can do.
It's always nice when there's other places that you can go for those conferences to get those ideas, especially when you know that they're working in other areas too. So you've got those statistics and a plan in motion that maybe you can kind of replicate in a way.
Yeah,
here
just
as
know
well.
what works, because we're all like-minded. We've got two hands and a big old heart. So it's definitely like-minded people all over the country that just that maybe we don't have a lot of time, or maybe we don't have a lot of money, but we all just have a big heart, and that's what matters and really gets us going.
Yeah, and y'all are already doing so much, but you also have other resources, whether that be, hey, we're not doing that currently, but here's a place you can go for that, in the area. I'm sure y'all help with that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. There's a junior league in Northwest Arkansas. They focus on domestic violence and things like that. So it's definitely huge just to kind of see the different things you can hit on, right here, and kind of really make a difference, and, kind of learn from that and see if they can kind of learn from us. And it's all kind of hand in hand, those can kind of intertwine sometimes. So it's definitely interesting to get those different ideas. There's like a group there's 5 junior leagues in Arkansas, and we get together probably once or twice a year and kind of talk about, Arkansas. There's different things available statewide, so it's definitely get together and see what we can find out and what we can use and
compare notes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you handle communications for the organization. What's your approach to keeping the community informed and engaged with the league's projects?
So, definitely we try with social media. It is, hard with the new age of everything with social media going fast and everybody's just scrolling. So, but we do have internal newsletters and things like that because, as, you're only maybe active for 7-8 years, and then you can become a sustainer, maybe you're a little less involved. But it's still important for us to keep the sustainers engaged and educated and, wear that junior league with honor that they made a difference. And, the reason that they made a difference, it's the reason someone else is able to come and make a difference. So we kind of keep that ball rolling, keep everyone engaged and what's coming up, what can we do, and ask for those surveys. Like, do you have an idea, or is there someone that you want to talk about, within our league that maybe has made a huge difference, and just kind of highlight that.
I bet you I know someone who could fill out a survey for you.
Yeah.
All those teachers.
Yeah.
for the children with poverty, and then the ones in high school on, any issues or different things that children may need as well. Just speaking on the children's side of things, like domestic awareness is a whole nother thing that you said Northwest Arkansas is really focusing on, but it's still prevalent here as well. And just making sure women know those resources as well. But as far as surveys are concerned, I bet teachers would be huge on being able to learn the ins and outs of some other things that the junior league could possibly focus on a little bit more as well. Such a great organization. So you've been part of a team that connects women from all walks of life. What do you think makes junior league community so special? You've kind of hit on it a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it is just unique that, we can come from different walks of life, different, cultures, different, backgrounds and ages and things, because you can join, when you're 22 years old, or you can join when you're 62 years old. There's no restrictions as far as anything. Bring what you have if you want to learn more, or maybe if you have something, maybe you have a talent or something that you want to share. Maybe whatever it may be, you have a story. Everybody has a story. You come to junior league, and you can learn. Everybody can learn from each other. And then, the more you know, the more you grow, I guess, in a way. And it's because, it's like if you have a story, someone else has that story maybe as well and can relate. And
you can pour into each other and the community at the same time, especially with your committees. So
get to go in smaller groups and things like that. So it's like you get to network if you'd like. And, you get into opportunities that, maybe you wouldn't otherwise, because you are kind of pushed out of your comfort zone, and you do things that, it's just hard work, and everybody can relate to that whenever, if it's, getting out there, and maybe sometimes we'll partner up with another organization that needs help, and we'll go do that. And so even just kind of intertwining, networking with other organizations, it's definitely a good place to all get together and kind of learn from each other and, put our heads together. I mean, if you get a like-minded group of people together that all are the same background, you're not really going to get far. You've got to kind of pull in other ideas, new ideas, and just keep getting better and stronger.
A very diverse situation. You can conquer anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Junior League events like Day at the Derby and the Holiday Home Tour are local favorites. What do these events mean to the league and Fort Smith as a whole? Yeah,
they are totally just fun. We just get to have fun. It's a lot of work to put them together, but they do have a great time. Pulling in sponsors and things like that. Like Day at the Derby is at the country club, so just to dress up, wear a fun hat, spend some time together, and get the guys out, get them all dressed up with the bow tie contest, And then Holiday Home Tour is a fun one. You all know someone that spends, bukus of money on Christmas, and you're like, man, everybody should see this, And so it is fun to kind of get some people to show off their houses. We get some friends together and kind of pile up in a car and go house to house. And sometimes there's like little cookies. Sometimes there's Santa Claus at a couple of these houses. So it's just a good little activity to do that, it makes a big difference, because a lot of people say, hey, some people might have heard of Holiday Home Tour, but they don't know exactly what Junior League is. So we have definitely, several workers at each house, Junior League members to kind of assist with, just where not to go and where to look around the house. And, if they have any questions about why we're doing that, why are we letting people into people's houses?
Yeah.
But it is all just so much fun to get in the Christmas spirit. It usually is the first week in December. So it's like right at that kickoff of the holiday season. And so
before everybody's swamped with all the additional activity.
Absolutely.
And it's a little good time frame right there.
Yeah.
I have a friend who owns a Christmas store. So if you know anybody looking to get some installs for their Holiday Home Tour,
there we go.
Let me know and I'll send you her contact information. She does some amazing installs.
Yeah. Oh, it can get so pretty.
That sounds like a lot of fun, though.
Yeah.
So for women listening who may be curious but hesitant to join, what would you say to encourage them to get involved?
Well, we do take applications year-round. Usually just over the summer is when we have mixers and things like that to just kind of like get to know us. Like we'll have like a Taco Tuesday at the Mexican restaurant or something, where we just kind of get together, and it's so casual. Like we are just here, doing our best, and we want to have a good time. And
so for them to get involved, they can put an application in year round.
Yeah.
But do you have a website, or where do you find that application?
JLFS.org. We have the applications there. And then over the summer, we'll have the mixers and things to get together, kind of fill it out. I think usually there's a couple of meetings that we're kind of open to let people come in and kind of join in and kind of see how the meetings go, because it's like sometimes it is a lot of business, sometimes it's a little mix of fun and business, but we always have a good time and are welcoming everyone. So they, it's only about once a month that we meet. New members have a new member class. It's only about 2 or 3 months long, I think, in the fall. So they kind of get through like a crash course on Junior League when you start, and it's on from there, and kind of see what you want to do. Do you want to do something like Holiday Home Tour and fundraise, or do you want to get out there and get your hands dirty?
It seems like you'll have a plethora of things for people to get involved in. So
that's fun.
Yeah. So finally, for anyone wanting to support your mission, what's the best way to connect or contribute to the League's work?
So we do, like Dignity for All, we do have an Amazon wish list. You can go on there and choose, fill your card up, and it'll deliver right to headquarters. You can do that subscription service too, so that way it just goes monthly. Periods come back monthly.
Right.
So we do have a lot of that going on, and anybody can stop by with things at our headquarters at any time that they're open there. And just basically, we have that holiday home tour coming up on Sunday, December 7th. That's, I think, $25 a ticket, and we'll have raffle tickets, I think, for a Louis Vuitton purse. So just different things, different events that we'll have, fundraising nights. We'll have brunch with Diggs this year. So a portion of what you spend at Diggs that day will go to Junior League. So go brunch for a good cause. And
have you had Diggs yet?
Mm-hmm, it's so good. It is so
Mm-hmm.
good. So look out for different things like that. We'll post in our Facebook.
Y'all are on Instagram too, aren't you?
Instagram, yep.
Yeah.
We have a page for Day at the Derby. We have a page for Holiday Home Tour. Dignity for All has its own page on Facebook and Instagram for both of those. So it's definitely, there's lots of information out there, and follow it all along and see what we are all doing, because we're always busy doing something.
Busy little bees.
Uh-huh.
Well, I appreciate you taking your time and showing your heart for service and your community. It's clear that Junior League of Fort Smith continues to make a lasting impact on both the women involved and the people that they serve. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. I just love talking about it.
Well, you've given us a lot of information, and if anybody wants to do that application, they can email y'all, correct?
Yep, jlfs.org.
Okay. And then I didn't realize that every program has its own Facebook page and Instagram page. So now I'm going to log on and start following everything.
Yeah.
So I can try to see areas I can also help in our community as well. But thank you so
Love
much.
it. Yeah, thank you.